Hello everyone, I'm Heather. I'm back for a really quick video, really quick, very light, chatty, okay? Just to quickly talk about my summer reading plans, which are very much encompassed in the Seattle Public Library's summer book bingo for grown-ups. That's right, it is here. It is this. Do you see the effing awesomeness of this? It even has like a proper thing in the back where you like say your name and everything, like with children. It's amazing. I've already decided what I'm reading for each one. Like, these things are blank normally. I have filled them in with the book I plan to read for that prompt. Each square is a prompt, as you can see. There are 24 of them with the free space in the middle, and I'm going to link this down below just in case it excites you in the way that excites me. Like, I'm from Seattle, okay, so I often go to the Seattle Library when I go home, but I live in Wales. Like, you don't really need to be in Seattle or from Seattle or have any attachment at all to Seattle to do the Seattle book bingo situation. So I highly recommend it. I'm not going to go over what each book is that I've chosen. Like, if you want to know, hit me up. I'll give you my list. But I think as the summer goes, because it goes until, so it goes all of June, all of July, and I think all of August. Like, you get 3 months to sort of do all these 24 books. So I think as I'm going through it, I'm gonna do a video just for like the ones that I've read, like wrap up ones, or like the ones that I'm working for at the minute. So I've finished 2 already and I'm in the middle of 2 at the minute, so I'm just going to lightly chat about it, lightly chat. Okay, so the first one I finished is like library staff, or like recommended by library staff. So the Seattle Public Library has like recommendations on their website, and they have put Elif Shafak, The Island of Missing Trees. So this was like a women's prize shortlister, I think, but she's also at Hay Festival this year. I'm gonna go see her next weekend, so I thought I'd read this anyway. It just sort of fits a prompt, really. Basically, the idea of this one is that this guy and this woman are from Cyprus, and it's sort of being told through the eyes of their daughter, who's grown up in Britain, and it's got like also being told through like a fig tree, like a fig tree with consciousness. Like, she is sort of also telling part of the story, sort of about the man Costas and his wife and his daughter, and I really enjoyed it. Like, I don't think Elif Shafak's writing is for me. Like, I don't feel like she's a wordsmith in the way that I enjoy. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like her prose and like how she puts things together, I don't love it. But I always love her characters, and I always love sort of the themes that are hiding behind sort of normal things in her books, you know? So the themes in this one really are sort of roots, like where you plant your roots, like how important your roots are, you know, also sort of like displaced societies, you know, and sort of being uprooted and things like that. And I actually really enjoyed that. I think I'm gonna give that 4 stars. That was good. Like, my friend Rahaf is also going to go with me to Hay, and she also was reading this because we're going to see her together. She said she didn't love it. Like, the writing was okay, she thought, but it wasn't like talking to her. It wasn't sticking to her. So I think she's going to end up DNFing this one, even though she loves Elif Shafak in general. So I don't know. I think it was like maybe a bit different from her normal ones as well. So there's that. Anyway. Okay, the other one I finished is Snapdragon, which I did for the read outside prompt, and holy shit, this was a sleeper hit, okay? It's Snapdragon by Leyh, and holy crap, I did not expect it to be so good, and it was banging. I read it just in one day, basically flat outside at a picnic. So it's a graphic novel, right? And I think it's not quite middle grade, maybe like young adult. It's got sort of some themes, if you will. Like, there's the mother of the kid. It's about a kid who has a dog, and she lives with her mother, who's a single mother, who's like working toward getting like a degree while also working jobs, you know, to support them. And she's got a bit of a rough boyfriend. Like, her last boyfriend was a bit like abusive and a bit shit, so she's thrown him out, and like he does come back. Like that's a bit of a trigger, I reckon. It's like pretty intense. But basically this girl, this young girl, she meets this old woman in the woods because she thinks that she's a witch. Like this old woman is said to be like by the kids in the neighborhood to be a witch, right? She's like, I don't believe that, she's just a scary old woman or whatever. So the kid, she gets bullied at school, and she finds these possum babies and she takes the possum babies to this old lady because she knows that the old lady can help them, and a relationship blossoms between them, and there's like loads of like relationships between other characters in the book that you don't see coming, you know, like, oh, just a brilliant. This was brilliant. I love the crap out of this, and also it's the exact kind of art I love, just like, you know, big on faces and like color. Brilliant. 5 stars. That might be like one of my favorite books of the year. Loved it. Okay, so I'm also, one of the prompts is LGBTQ love story. And I decided to read for that Count Your Lucky Stars by Alexandria Bellefleur, and it's on my Scribd, so I've been reading it on my phone. And I am not loving it. It's the kind of like silly, sort of like chick lit romance type book that I tend not to love. Like I like a romance, you know, like Outlander. Like I love a bit of steamy scenes, I love a bit of romance, but like really frivolous, like cliche, like chick lit romance, I don't love it. And I only really picked this one because loads of people said it was amazing and it takes place in Seattle and everything. And so basically the idea is it's these two women, they used to know each other, they used to be friends, and then they were in like a very brief romantic relationship, and then it got weird and they split up, and now sort of 10 or so years later they've met up again in the city, and like the flat or like the apartment of one woman is in disrepair, so she's got to move in with the other one. Oh, she has to, oh no, you know, like that. I don't love it. I'm not loving it. Like, I'm gonna keep going with it, I think, because I don't know, I do quite like these things because they make you read things you wouldn't normally read. Like this kind of book I wouldn't normally pick up, and it'd be good to finish it and be like, oh yeah, okay, I really don't like those books, like just to reaffirm, do you know what I mean? But I don't think I'm loving it. And the other one that I'm in the middle of at the minute is my banned or challenged book, which is Mouse by Spiegelman. And holy shit, this one is also amazing. It's also like, okay, so the art in it, like when I read a graphic novel, I like it to be sort of colourful and like that other one, like, you know, like big faces and stuff like that. This one isn't really my jam normally because it's black and white, it's tiny, do you know what I mean? It's hard to sort of focus on each little bit, but I'm loving it. It's basically about this mouse, but he's a guy. It's basically like a memoir of the author's actual life, him talking to his father, who actually in real life was a Holocaust survivor. He went to one of the camps and survived and moved to America and had a kid. So in it, the Jewish characters are all mice, and then sort of the non-Jewish Polish characters, I think, are pigs, and the Nazis are cats. Like they're all different sort of kinds of animals. But they behave in the exact way that humans behave, and how he's sort of telling the story of how he asked his father to relay his life. So his dad's like a bit of a character. He's like counting pills or whatever, and he's telling the story. He's like, ah, you made me mess up my pills. And the kid's like, I made you mess up the pills. He's like, yes. And he's like, fine, like, fine, Dad, I'll just do your pills. And he's like, no, I'm an expert doing the pills. Don't do the pills. I do the pills, like that. Like, and then he sort of continues talking about how he was in like the Polish army, you know, and like he escaped and came back through like death camp stuff, you know. It's absolutely brilliant. I'm only like partially through it, like not even halfway, but it's brilliant. And loads of people have said, despite being sort of whimsical about mice in a graphic novel, it's really one of the most sort of horrific portrayals of the war that they've experienced. You know, it's like, it gets quite personal. It makes you feel quite personal about the characters. So that's been brilliant. Okay, and I think after I'm finished with these ones, I'm going to read my recommended by a friend one. I'm going to read Zombie Bake Off by Stephen Graham Jones. So Amanda at Reading and Writing Life, she's got this project going next month where she wants everyone to read like one Stephen Graham Jones book and then to like do a video about it, you know, so it'll be like a Stephen Graham Jones like catalog of like his books and his works or whatever. So I am gonna do that one as part of her project on the 4th of June. So that one's gonna be my next one. Okay, thank you for watching. I hope this was fast. I sort of feel like I did a lot of rambling and it wasn't fast, but we'll see now. I'll go and look now. If you have any questions at all about the Seattle Library grown-up summer book bingo, please let me know. I'm going to put as much information down the bottom as I can. Also, if you have any questions for me, any thoughts, if you have done book bingo in the past and have loved the crap out of it, if you have any childhood memories, glowing childhood memories of library summer book programs, please lay it on me. This is the wholesome like book content I need. Right, I will see you next week. What's next week? Book 2 prize next week. I'm gonna lay that out for you next week. Okay, bye.